Hi, everyone. I'm so happy you are joining us today. This is Ellen Manis, your host of the Connecting to Light TeleSummit. And today I'm thrilled to welcome and introduce a very special and remarkable speaker. She's going to be a treat for all of us, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. She is really amazing. There's no other word. She is incredibly intuitive, an amazing healer. She has a PhD in psychology, as well as having these great, great spiritual powers. And she is going to be talking to us today about how to live in the miraculous life and how to realize our full potential and fulfill a higher destiny, and how to really get beyond whatever human programs we may be following or feel trapped in or think we're guided by. Aurora really has the alchemical keys, as she phrases it, to self-empowered actualization. And we're going to be talking about how to go from upset to peace in just minutes and to accomplish those shifts we're all looking for, and how to restore yourself from adverse conditions really effectively and quickly, and how to gain mastery over your psychology, your human psychology, and easily transform whatever shadow aspects we might have. And what we really all want to do is to live in our authentic self more often, and that's what Aurora is so skilled at helping us do and leading us to be able to experience a joyful and abundant life that she says is really provided and is our birthright, if you will, by living in the miracle consciousness. So I'm just going to tell you a bit more about Dr. Aurora Ariel's background, and it's amazing. She's a pioneering doctor and healer. She's a PhD. She's a #1 best-selling author, creator of The Quest, an award-winning author of the Earth 2012 to 33 series. She brings an exciting missing piece, so to speak, to our present planetary equation with her unique perspective on 2012 to 33, which she calls the gateway to the new world. Her research and her work have given her a profound understanding of the psyche and tools to help and heal an ailing humanity. And over the years of pioneering work in psychology, neuroscience, and health, she's made many landmark discoveries, bringing a new understanding to our human planetary dilemmas and providing a way out of those dilemmas. She's worked with countless individuals with miraculous results, healing conditions that were once believed incurable, unchangeable, or irreversible. She's freed people from life sentences of suffering, showcasing a way to end suffering on Earth. She has 38 certificates and degrees in advanced healing methods, as well as a BA, MA, and PhD in psychology, as I mentioned. She's also a kahuna in the Hawaiian tradition, a successor, I'm a Hawaiian kahuna in the Morna Simeona lineage. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Shaolin Grandmaster Pang, and her landmark discovery of the cause of suffering and the development of a cure is her legacy to a planet. And it's just such a gift to have her. Welcome, Dr. Aurora Juliana Ariel. I'm thrilled to have you here.
Thank you so much, Elena. It is a great joy to be with everyone today. And as so often happens in these incredible telesummits, the light has been flowing out to everyone for hours. So I'm really thrilled to see what we can accomplish, what can be lifted and healed, how I can make sense of things for everyone, and give an easy road, an easy path of self-actualization.
Oh, that's beautiful, and we're going to talk a bit more in a second about your work and how it works. I want to remind people that Aurora will be taking live calls. If you want to work with her personally, press *2 on your phone to raise your hand, or you can write in a question if you're listening on the webcast. So tell me more about what you do works. How can people really heal their lives and change their destinies?
That's one of the most exciting landmark discoveries I made. And, it started very young, myself going through some excruciating or devastating things and wondering, well, what is all this coming from? What is the cause of suffering? And is there a cure? And how can we extricate ourselves from the patterns that keep running and reproducing same results? Is there a way to get out of that trap of what we took on from our family ancestry and all of those ever-revolving plays in our life that really come from, our limiting beliefs? And so my quest did take me on that journey of discovery, and like a Houdini, I've been freeing myself and so many others across the planet, but also teaching a life mastery path. And these are those higher sacred alchemist, adeptship in the new millennium teachings that I bring forward, the trainings of how to be a master of this part of the self that is continually rising up and creating havoc in our lives.
Oh, that's amazing. So, you said as a highlight of what we can learn during this call is how we really can go from anxiety to peace in just minutes. Can you help people understand how that's possible and how working with you can really facilitate that?
Yeah, and even beyond working with me, because I was inspired to bring this out as a whole self-healing system, which I call the Quest. And I developed a sacred alchemy process that helped free myself and others early on and stop all this pain and misery and to shorten the time of misery and get us back to our authentic self. Through many years, from my teens onward, working on all this. And I finally developed it into the Quest, where I took that process, and what I mean by sacred alchemy is the inner transformation of self, the transformation of those baser or younger aspects of ourselves, the wounded aspects, the ones that are holding the limiting beliefs and patterns, and transforming them back to the gold of our true nature, restoring us quickly back to who we are. So I found the way out, and how you can even be in the most devastation, heartbreak, or anger, or rage, or hurt, or jealousy, and in minutes have that all calmed down, have identified the part of you that is going through this, and then very simply in minutes taking that aspect, that subconscious aspect, through the 7 steps to a full transformation, which as you undergo this transfiguration, you return back to the truth of who you are. And that truth is alive within us all. It's beyond the patterns and the overlays and the misery and all the stuff we've been carrying and our ancestors carried for millennia. Beyond it all, in the core of who we are, is our living spirit, our eternal immortal selves. And I've found in thousands and thousands of cases, 100% of the time, that self is intact. It's intact within us and can be actualized and activated. But we need to clear the way, because our consciousness is like a tuning radio, and what are we tuning into day by day? And so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And how to have mastery over that, how to choose, and without suppressing, repressing, and spiritually bypassing, how to effectively deal with this side of ourselves.
It's so wonderful. Because especially with your background in psychology, we so often think that, to really work through, what we perceive as our blocks or limitations is a long process of taking years, but you're saying it's not, that we really can get to beyond what we think mistakenly is our identity, I guess, to our true identity, right?
Yeah, it's right there within us, but we've kind of programmed to think we're so much less than who we are, and that we are our limitations, and we've all had so much happen. And of course, in the second we arrive, we start getting negative feedback about we're bad, we're this, we get spanked, we have that. So it's been really hard going under amnesia and then taking on patterns, these beliefs like, oh, I'm bad, I'm not worthy of love, or I'm, whatever we took on as children. And then, running that, living out of that, like, who are we really? Like, to even have an idea that we're something more, that we could be something better. But we truly are, and I found the way to uncover all that and help it be a really exciting journey of discovery and empowerment and freedom, enlightenment. And so, yeah, it's been such a joy to give this to the world.
What would you say is the basic or fundamental reason or cause that we seem to get stuck in human suffering and not feeling that we can't reach our true potential?
A little bit what I said, that we came under amnesia coming in and forgot who we are, because if we were remembering who we truly are, we wouldn't take a lot of the stuff we take and endure and let happen. We would treat ourselves so well. We would treat ourselves with such loving care and nurturing, understanding. Wow, we gave up so much. We gave up the beautiful realms of perfection and came down here to be of service at this critical time on the planet. We deserve that loving. So number one is waking up to who we really are, which this process does. It helps highlight who we really are not, help transform that to get back to the full potential that we are, and allow us to really anchor in that self, that true authentic self. And by doing that and doing it as a lifestyle, so that when the next piece is up and you find yourself in a human emotion of pain, suffering, misery, anger, rage, jealousy, envy, competitiveness, or driven, workaholism, whatever it is, that you're clearing it. You're clearing that next piece. You're not indulging in it. You're not being run by it, believing this is who you really are.
Right. It's an amazing process. Can you tell me a bit more about what you went through, or what drove you on this quest to discover this? Your personal
really
story?
Everything under the. I have had to suffer the worst of what humanity suffers to find the way out. Seriously. And, I write about some of the things really honestly in my books. I don't want to get into too in-depth with it, but I've been that abused woman. I've been abandoned by, my father. I've had a very severely ill mother that I had to then take care of and be the mother of, and I've just seen about everything under the sun, every heartbreak, every devastation, every loss. And, it always made me want to know, like a Sherlock Holmes, like, why? Why is this happening to me? Because I've been a loving girl, I was a loving mother, a loving girl, a spiritual girl. I wasn't somebody that, like a bad person that should be punished for her sins type of, when you're talking about some of the ideologies on the planet we came in to hear about, get enmeshed in. And so I did, it would take me deeper and deeper, and I found it. I finally found where it was all coming from, that the things that were playing out in my life were not God willing it, or, the devil because I'm bad and I'm in hell here, or whatever the mythologies, I was so bad in a past life, I'm being punished. All of these things fell away, all of these archaic beliefs and mythology when I found the truth.
Wow, and you did this all on your own? Or do you think you were guided somehow?
Yeah, very definitely. When I was a teen, very early, like 13, 14, 12, 13, it just started like I was raised with no religion, and I really wasn't raised with any talking or hearing of anything about the planet. So I was very much an innocent. And so I didn't really know about suffering and wars and traumas, and it's a pretty idyllic life, simple. And so when my mother became really ill and all these things started happening, it quickened my curiosity, but at the same time, I started having divine visitations and visions and remembrances and opening of my awareness of what humanity is facing in this time and the dire potentials that I later heard about and even saw visions of, and then later heard about Edgar Cayce and others and read their work, and it was like the exact potentials we of a humanity were facing as the planet was hurtling fast towards, the end again, another ending, and through great cataclysm. And I was shown this amazing other pathway and knew I had come to help support that path into an amazing future, a more enlightened future. And so I knew, and I don't know how I knew, because at that time there wasn't any real books and things that I had ever had access to about anything like this. It was really just out of the blue, and that I realized that my purpose, my mission was to be a vessel of light and healing for the planet. And I was very much aligned with the positive visions I was seeing. And then I started remembering things being right before this life, and so many of us excited and getting acclimated to human compassion, human higher emotions, loving, compassion, caring, and preparing for this embodiment, this mission, and that we're all coming in to help turn the tide and move humanity into a more conscious way of life and being, a transformed world, and that we would be born throughout the planet in this time through different, backgrounds, lineages, heritages, and that we would be undergoing this ascension process all together throughout the earth. At the time, I didn't even know what the ascension meant. I had never heard that word, but I saw it visually and energetically, and it was all of us raising in consciousness together, kind of linked up across the earth, and that every year we'd be on the next level, then the next. And, of course, all these years I've seen that coming true. And then I've written about the us that came and what we're doing here through all that I found, and countless being in the psyche with so many people, and also communing with the divine realms of light and my divine sponsors, and finding, piecing together what's really going on here on Earth, and why did we come, and who exactly are we, and what is our mission.
Wow, your work is really so much about not only the individual, but about how each individual's ascension, so to speak, affects everything, the whole world and everybody, right?
Exactly. We're all linked up. And what was interesting to find, it was easy to see early on that we're linked up. Our authentic selves, our spirits are linked. But that on that unconscious level that I was guided into, that I was led into really to find the core, the cause of suffering that was I found in the psyche of humanity, in the soul. I found it in these embedded programming and patterns that come from belief systems that were taken on and passed down, and people live out of these limitations, and finding that very much that those aspects are linked up. So we're linked on that level as well. So whenever any of us rises into the next level, when any of us heals a pattern and transforms it and goes under a transfiguration, we're moving all our family members' level with all humanity forward. And then another amazing thing I found, because as the healing, I have a lot of inner sight, and then these global healings that we're going to be doing at the end, a whole healing activation for everybody, and a power-packed one, and a global healing with it. That as we're healing ourselves, the patterns, the aspects, I call them, the inner subconscious aspects, link up. And now even more healing takes place. But what happens immediately, which is so extraordinary and exciting, and how we could have this amazing future, redialed to this different future, away from the future everything was fast hurtling to, is that the second we heal the next piece, those aspects that would have been creating more and more of this down our future line are now repatterned to the divine. They're going to be bringing blessings instead, and abundance and health. And so we're literally not on that future line anymore. We've immediately redialed to a higher version of the future, a more light-filled, more blessed one. Now, when we keep doing this as a lifestyle, so that every time something arises, that upset, that that anger, that hurt, that's an inner aspect that is coming up to our conscious awareness. That's a younger part of us that's clamoring for our attention and wants to be addressed. It wants to be healed. It doesn't want us to be depressed for 8 weeks and angry for 8 years. It's calling to be healed. So when you're a master at this, when you're sacred at this, when you immediately take that part through the 7 steps, within minutes it's transformed and you're transfigured. And now you're on the next level of your authentic selfhood. And you've changed the future for yourself and everyone, and you're on the next level of who you are, but even in a more expansive capability.
So that's really sort of like an aha moment that, instead of fighting these feelings and powerful emotions, we should, in a way, welcome them, right?
Yeah, because if we just let ourselves be miserable for 7 days, number one, we're not in our authentic selves, so we're not in our positive, proactive selves, making the highest, best decisions and drawing to ourselves all the blessings and synchronicities that are meant for us. It's only when we're in our authentic selves that we're in that miracle consciousness, and that is making miracles occur and all blessedness is taking place. So we want to stay in that aspect of ourselves most often. We don't want to have that downtime because we're not being effective. When you indulge in the emotional upsets, they can go physical into ailments and illnesses. Repressed emotions, repressed aspects, as it all accumulates, is weighing on humanity, and that's why people have ill health and are bent over and bitter. And I could have been like that too very easily for what I went through. But I'm not, because I learned how to live in my authentic self, the miracle consciousness, most often, and effectively deal with the younger aspects of self that are coming up to be healed. And if we don't heal them, they will bring the same movies in, the same dysfunctional relationships, the same, health issues, because they affect every area and aspect of our lives. And that's why the earth has been looking like it does, and why there has been no way out for humanity, and why the spiritual traditions haven't really helped. It's useful. Spiritual practices are useful, but it doesn't transform the subconscious aspects and restore us to our true authentic self. They just let us cruise in our higher self, but then our aspects are working havoc in our lives simultaneously. That needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed down in the place that it is coming from, and effectively. And, it's really easy for anyone to do. Kids have done this. I've passed it to teens. They've ran with it. Youth at risk have transformed their lives. Abused women have changed their whole destiny and now have loving relationships with conscious men. I mean, it's amazing how we can transform everything.
Yeah, I mean, looking at what people say about working with you, it's so obvious that it works so well, what you do. I mean, one person, Randolph, says the space Aurora holds for healing is so powerful that one has no choice but to move forward in her presence. And another person, Jared, says the quest is a rarefied healing system that works at such a core level, subconscious patterns clear at lightning speed. So people really say and support what you're saying, that it can work very fast and it just has such powerful effects. Do you want to explain a bit more about what the Quest healing system is, or should we go further into that when we talk about your offer, but later in the call? We have some live callers waiting to talk to you, and anybody else, you can press *2 to raise your hand or write in a question. We also have some of those waiting. So do you want to take a caller, Aurora?
Yeah, that seems exciting. Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, great. So I'm going to have somebody in Benicia, California. I might be mispronouncing that. I'm going to unmute you. California, you're unmuted. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you. Yes, you're
Okay.
on.
Yes. This is James Gilmore from Sacramento. When you said California, it's like, well, they're talking about L.A., they're talking about San Francisco.
Well, thanks for calling.
Anyway, oh, my pleasure. Basically, I didn't know if our exquisite guest was going to be having some individual sessions or clearings. So if she were, that's why I raised my hand. If she not, I'll just wait for the group clearing.
No, of course, James. It's always such a joy to connect with you and, of course, to be of assistance.
Yes. So I don't have anything specific. I could sort of let my higher self, in conjunction with your guides, just work on what's ready to be worked on.
Yeah, I'm starting to pick up something has to do with your heart and
Okay.
a feeling of worthiness of all the blessings. And it's going back to childhood and something with Father. I just see you as this little boy, and the opposite I'm getting is had you been born maybe into a spiritual lineage and been honored as a child and greeted as, here's this blessed soul and he's special, right? He's special. And I wish all of us could have been born into that. It's like we came from the realms of light to health. It would have been great to have, to be honored as we arrived and appreciated and held as sacred and treated that way. It has to do with the woman.
What you're saying about my childhood is 1,000,000% correct.
Yeah, it has to do something about the woman in China. It's almost like the part of you, it's like this is almost too good to be true, or the blessings of life, It's so unconscious, though, because I know you're a very positive, self-actualizing person, but in the unconscious, this younger part of you is almost daunted by the blessings that are coming to you right now, the goodness. And it's almost like it picked up this whole feeling like not deserving. I don't know if your father was harsh and punishing, but
sort of more disinterested, detached, uninvolved, more like that.
I'm seeing some kind of attitude, though. Like, I don't know. It's like I'm seeing the little boy, then I'm seeing the father kind of towering over him, and
Well, I got the sense. I got the sense interacting with him and looking at it later is like my coming into his life was a great inconvenience, and why did you come and screw things up? Sort of attitude.
Yeah, it's not a good attitude that I'm seeing. Yeah, so it took away that sense of the little one, that he's precious, that you're precious, that deserving of everything and wanted. And so I think sometimes it might have been hard as things are going more abundant or things are getting blessed, you're getting blessed, of this, to feel deserving deep down inside. And so right now, this beautiful aspect is, well, I'm seeing this radiant love for you in China. I'm seeing this radiant heart, this love. So you have to put that in the mix. But so back to the inner aspect. This is why everybody, it's so important to allow these things to open up, because otherwise we just leave these younger parts with their feelings of not being deserving and not able and capable of receiving all that we're meant to receive. That makes us have a cap of our abundance on the abundance level so that we're not open to even more blessings. This is exactly and such an important example of why we want to heal and raise these parts of us to their full potential. And that's what's happening right now. There's a lot of healing going on. There's a lot of shifting and consciousness, and that younger part of you, James, seeing that, understanding your dad more, and what it might feel like to have a child at an inopportune time, and differentiating that with not being worthy of love, not being worthy, that it really didn't have anything to do about you as a soul, as a precious being come to earth. It was an encumbrance. It would have been any. And there is some kind of harshness there. I don't know if you've forgotten it, but it could have been just energetic resentment. But there was a harsh aspect to it. And this beautiful part of you had lost his sense of self, lost his bearing, lost the feeling of being worthy and special and precious. So he's linking up with a lot of people in the audience right now. So everyone, you might be feeling a shift, because right now it's actually going global, because the world is being run and managed, and businesses and things handled by these younger parts of us. And they need to be matured. Can you imagine our president being a 5-year-old sometimes? And this is what happens when we don't have that awareness and mastery to transform the aspects rather than acting and letting them fully engage on that level, creating havoc in our life. So now there is a whole shifting, because as your aspect's shifting and everyone's is shifting to deserving, I am precious, I am beautiful, I am deserving of all life's blessings, I'm deserving of mother-father love, I'm deserving of kindness, compassion, and caring, I'm deserving of the abundant life. That is shifting the whole world right now. Because as people realign with deserving and their full authentic selves can fully give them that miraculous life, a lot of ills of humanity can fall away. Poverty, illnesses, hardships, so much was created out of this inner dysfunction of parts of self that just lost their bearing. So now, James, yours is ready and it's maturing and it's really looking pretty dynamic. and light field. How are you doing right now?
I'm very joyous and thankful that I got the invitation from you as well as your host, and I'm glad to be here. And I just noticed that I've thought about my father or our relationship or growing up with him the few years I was with him, and there was no emotional connection. It was like looking at a movie or something, and I noticed that probably for the first time ever, I was just experiencing, as you was doing the releasing, I was just experiencing a lot of sadness.
Yes. Yeah, that part of you really was carrying a lot. And now I'm so happy because your life's going to be different again, another shift. So every time we do this, we shift into the next future line. Let me get a read for you from this fully realized aspect now that looks like a dynamic, light-filled being, a male, strong, moving forward on his path, directed. So the change is ability to give self everything wonderful, to take very good care of self, to allow life's blessings in more and other people's love in, not to have a barrier. This aspect and the ones we cleared with him had a barrier, so that someone could come and really love you, but that part of you would not totally believe it and maybe have some kind of a barrier. That barrier wanted to come down today because you're meant to have love and feel love and be loved and share love and have harmony in relationship and have all this resolved. So this was a very significant point in time for you in your soul evolution and advancement, and you were completely ready for it. So there it is, happiness.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, thank you so much, James, for calling and sharing.
We all got a healing from
you.
that one, and I feel really happy inside, like my inner children, some more of my inner children got transformed, and that they can receive, because I had abandonment as well, and things that went on, so, and I think a lot of us maybe felt alone and abandoned in this world, and haven't known that we are really worthy of the miraculous life. So we're getting a whole nother, more increment of that right now, all of us.
Yeah, I certainly felt it. I mean, I had aspects of that myself, and it really brought tears to my eyes how you were working with him.
It's just that easy, Elena, and that's what makes me so excited to be at this time when I can hand it to everybody. And I'm just so grateful to people like you bringing me on the TeleSummit so I can give more and more understanding and gifts and healing, because it's been a whole lifetime figuring it all out and extricating myself and then seeing the wonderful byproduct, which is living in the miracle consciousness. And people used to say, you get more miracles than the normal human. And I figured out it's not because I am, just special, God loves me best or whatever. It's because I learned how to live in my authentic self most of the time, and it's a formula we can all do.
That's great. So, James, I'm going to mute you now unless you have another question for Aurora, but thank you again so much for calling.
My pleasure and honor. Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit later on when we're talking about the package, since I did include, which is very rare, guys, because I just don't have time these days heading and running everything, I did include the Soul Remedy, Soul Destiny Healing. James did experience one of those, and so maybe later, Elena, like when we're talking about it, and if you're willing, James, then maybe share a little bit about the experience and then what happened, after that. So we'll have that.
That would be great. I wanted to try to get maybe to a written question for quickly, and then we'll come back to a live call. Does that sound okay? And then in a little bit, we are going to talk about your offer, which is so special. There's so much in it.
I like to pack in a lot. It's like just like, how much can I put in this for everybody? Yeah, so.
I know it's incredible, but we'll get to it very soon. And I wanted to read this question, which is also from somebody who has been. She says she's been using the Quest regularly. Her name is Karen. She says, I've been using the Quest regularly since my session with Aurora and listening to her work and music. It's incredibly healing because it gives me the ability to easily connect with whatever is coming up to be healed. Even when I see it in another person, I know that by seeing it and feeling it in another. There's a part of me that can, I know that by feeling it in another, there's a part of me that can be healed for the good of all. The aspect I'm working with today is powerlessness. Please do whatever you can to support the healing and integration of powerlessness. Thank you for all that you are bringing forth for the good of all and the incredibly powerful healing that Mother Mary has for us to accept and allow.
Well, thank you so much. I have tears in my eyes because powerlessness, the aspect that showed itself to me in you, Karen, and is in all of us. Okay, so this is our next piece. And this is what I love, because whatever any of us bring forward, we all have it, we could all get healed, and that's when I do the sacred tours and people have things coming up, we're all getting healed, the world's getting healed, and it's just so miraculous. We feel like 6 months have passed and it's been 4 days. So this is really a great TeleSummit, because what's being brought forward is really at those causal levels that want to be shifted today. As I tune into the powerlessness, I'm seeing the global one kind of beyond yours, Karen. I'm seeing yours is tied in, but it's global. I'm seeing the big inner aspect that all of our millions across the world are kind of glommed into. And disenfranchised, defeated, demoralized, then degenerated. There's been a lot of repercussions from this sense of powerlessness. And again, it's like the perfect next piece to the puzzle from James's of not being received when we came in. Like, oh, you're precious, you're a being of light. Let's take really great care of you. Like a feeling of ennobling and honoring, acknowledging of who we are. So we didn't get that unless you were very lucky. And then it kind of rolls from there. And when people have been abused and there's been harshness, there's been betrayals and trauma, then these aspects, the powerlessness gets locked in the unconscious and can come out as forest fires, as, rage and anger and abuse. And some powerlessness can translate into the person growing up and being an abuser and being dominating and controlling and trying to control the whole environment, and everything has to be perfect and the self has to be perfect, and it really is like a locked-in reality that is pretty joyless and ever-defeating, because we do have that conscience inside. And so as we're dominating others, controlling others, or being angry, abusive to others, or interrogating, or any of those aspects, we're not really feeling good inside about who we are. But that's how the little child had to gain power and find power. So whether you're doing it through controlling everything or needing things perfect or just a certain way, or, dominating others and corralling them in with how you think it all should be and what they should be doing, or whether you have rage problems or anger problems. And I'm talking to everyone on the planet right now because there's a lot of souls listening in that are at inner levels as well. So I'm kind of teaching you all at once that it never does resolve. Even though, you might feel more powerful having everything under control, or feel more powerful when you can dominate situations or others, or be the leader or be in charge. And okay, so now that's all starting to let go. So you should start feeling that release inside you all, everyone. I'm feeling it in me.
I feel it.
Yeah, oh my gosh, the solar plexus just relaxing. That feels so good. The true way of healing is to raise and heal these aspects, not let all of these machinations, which also I want to say went into anorexia, eating disorders, alcoholism, drug use, inauthenticity. Yeah, so there was a lot of repercussions of this one core wound globally. And then you have the megalomania of people running the world, pushing, decimating others and genocides and all that. So we have it all the way up. Police officers that were abused that now they have all the power, or judges, So we got to all transmute this in ourselves to be our full authentic selves and be wise stewards of our energies in life. And there is a quiet, authentic power that is exquisite to live in. And when you say no, you mean no, and it reverberates out. You have clear boundaries. You have an ease and graceful approach, because you're inwardly power-packed, so you don't have to show the outer power force, screaming, yelling, or however it's been done. So now we're letting go of all that. Okay, so you can breathe in and just with the golden light in your solar plexus, just really bring that calming now. All right, so all the aspects are ready globally in all of you, and humanity, those in humanity, ready for their little ascension to their full potential selves. So they're ascending into their mature selves. Oh, this is a relief because, again, these little children have been wreaking havoc in the world. And when people have gotten into power positions, oh my God, it's been a mess. So now we just see a restructuring, repatterning, even in the DNA. Wow. So the DNA has been adversely affected by these beliefs and patterns and become a way of being, an aggressive way of being. So aggression is actually being healed right now in our DNA. And instead of aggression, there's the ability to be in our full authentic power, to be in the strength of who we are, and to be guided by a more enlightened aspect of ourselves, our true authentic selves, to be guided and directed. So now we're not going to have all these human momentums driving us from these unhealed child aspects that need to dominate, need to have this, have that, do this, make things happen. It's going into workaholism. All that's getting transformed. Starbucks might not get as much sales. Workaholism and coffee kind of go hand in hand. We needed it to be workaholics. If we're not going to be workaholics, we're not really wanting that hit in the morning. All right. Well, that's going to keep transforming. I think we can move forward, but know that that's all in motion, and this transfiguration is beautiful. as we're all coming into that more relaxed way of being in our authentic power, our male-female sides more balanced now. Now we've gotten the first healing on our DNA, and there's going to be more today of restoring what I call the divine codes or the divine intention for us. So there's been a lot of programming on a lot of levels, and, that's just been the ills of humanity. And we, all of us together today, are changing the world. We are moving the planet into a happier future. So thank you for everyone being here with me for this, and we're going to keep going.
Yeah, I can't believe the change I feel. I feel really mellow, and what a shift. And I'd love to move on to another call and then talk more about your package and then maybe take some more calls. But one listener wrote in about your work with James. She says, I want to thank James for calling in, so courageous of him. I resonated with his story and felt such relief from Aurora's work with him. Thank you. So that's more evidence of what you're doing here.
The magic of sacred alchemy. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And really, what I love is when I'm working with a student over a year, because when they take the Life Coach Counselor Certification course, they are getting sessions every week. So they are transforming their life. And I love the shift when they finally realize it doesn't matter what the next piece is or what the emotional thing is or how dark and dirty or whatever. It's like, how exciting. Let's get this next story. And they love going through the transfiguration. And then they get to also master the self-counseling, 7 steps, the quest, as well as master being a master counselor and teacher. And so, if anyone feels that calling, I have a new opening this spring for any of you that feel like you want to avail yourself of that and go through a whole total life transformation this next year. But learning and mastering this is something that I believe is the greatest gift you can give your life. If you were going to take one thing to the island, I would take this. And I seriously would not live without it. It has made such an amazing difference to my life. I have seen monsters transform in my life, and people doing horrendous things, or a forest fire starting that's going to just destroy my whole life or ruin something or wreck something, or a health issue, and been able to transform these things and get the blessings instead, and have the person actually shift and bring blessings instead of harm. It's alchemy at its best, and I call it sacred alchemy.
Yeah, and I know what's in your offer for the summit, which is so amazing. It's such an incredibly valuable start, and we're going to be going into detail about that really shortly. But should we take another call first and then get to that?
Let's keep going with some calls, because I can see the synchronicity of we're doing one piece, now we're getting the next piece, and that's when you're doing this and you see through the year you're doing this, you'll see each next piece is the perfect next piece to unlock that puzzle of yourself and set yourself free on the next level. So it all fits together, and so some for a while will be a running theme of maybe going back to the same past lives or past part of your life, and have variations on the theme until it's cleared through that, and then the next. And so that's what we're doing today. So, yeah, if we can take a few more, you'll be able to see that, how each thing is so perfect that the divine, it's all divinely orchestrated, like a mathematical equation to set us free and help us actualize the truth of who we are, to stand in the earth who we are, and meanwhile be succinctly and masterfully transforming all aspects of who we are not.
Great. So raise your hand by pressing *2 if you want to join the puzzle here. But in the meantime, I'm going to see I have a caller from Matawan, New Jersey. I'm going to unmute you New Jersey. You're unmuted.
Hi, this is Gina. And how are you
Gina.
today? Hi.
I'm well, thank you.
I wanted to ask Aurora, I am a Reiki master, a healer. I'm always happy. I'm filled with joy and gratitude. But I'm not sure what my soul's purpose is to do.
Beautiful. Well, one good news is part of the package when I do the soul remedy healing, a lot of times your book of life is read, and it really helps you to understand that. But let's tune in, and I mean, you're a healer, right?
Right.
And you have been naturally drawn to all of this to help others, to come to help others.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can take a peek into your book of life.
Okay.
Well, I see you before this life writing in it and getting all your precepts set for this embodiment, and you're writing to be a radiant presence in the earth, to emanate great joy, and to teach others how to realize a greater fulfillment, a greater richness. Appreciation of Earth as a Garden of Eden, appreciation of nature and all its beauty, appreciation of others, the uniqueness of the human race and of souls, the embodiment of a healing priestess, being a healing priestess like in the ancient times. A re-embodiment, kind of bringing forward of the Lemurian legacy that you carry as a soul, of an embodiment of great wisdom and light, and teaching, and a great beneficent presence. What I'm getting is it's been really important, like the whole anchoring on heaven on earth theme that we're all doing together. We're restoring heaven on earth. We're restoring Eden on earth by reaccessing and showing a way for humanity to access and live in their Edenic consciousness, which is the miracle consciousness I'm talking about today, to be that, because that's the part of us that can restore heaven on earth, that will manifest in and through us, that glorious, miraculous life that is Eden. That's a really big part of your purpose.
So, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Wow. I always thought it would be something towards being an animal communicator. Then somebody said to me, no, that you're a memory reinterpreter. I never even heard of that. I don't even know what it is, really. And so that's why I have no idea. I wake up and just don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because you're wanting a more physical application to the essence of what I just shared. And the essence, what the Divine Ones have shown me over and over, and I really had to get, clunked over the head with this, because I became such a purposeful person and a mission-oriented person and a doer, a great doer. However, the Divine Ones have shown me clearly again and again that our first purpose is to be these radiant presences on earth, to be vessels of this higher light energy that wants to come in the planet. And to do that, we need to clear ourselves to be that full authentic self most of the time, because that's how we fulfill our mission. We cannot be stressed out people, all upset and irritated and angry and jealous and envious and competitive, and fulfill our destiny, because our destiny is bringing a new code to the earth. It's bringing back the light-filled way of being that is encoded in everyone, to activate the fully conscious, illumined, eternal, immortal self into physical reality, physical time, and allowing that to flow into whatever medium. So if you're sitting with a friend, if you are doing Reiki, whatever you're doing, it's really about coming back to that understanding that that is the first cause, that to be vessels of light on the planet, to be a beneficent influence on the earth at a critical time on the planet, because the planet absolutely needs us to be our best selves and to stop playing out in these shadow aspects and as little angry, upset children, minimizing who we are when we're these glorious, incredible divine beings who have come for this huge purpose. Now, then, what comes from that will be naturally guided. Like, I never saw this whole picture of this whole global healing ministry and 7 vehicles. I was like just following that pathway, the little jewels on the path, following my inner divine self unfailingly. That's all I've done since a teen. I didn't know all this. I probably would have been scared. It's like, oh my God, no. I mean, seriously, I'm just a little person, like, oh my gosh. It's not about doing and being the big doer. Yes, I've had to do a lot to put this all together. I've been a one-woman band up until now and just starting to get team finally, which is a new thing. And so work has been a lot of work and all that. But the first thing is being in your authentic self, Gina, most of the time, mastering that. As you master that, those divine ideas and inclinations and doors opening will all happen perfectly for you. And the way you express your divinity and the purpose that you fulfill in this life will be manifold. Lots of different aspects, because the aspects of yourself are just so glorious. And as you bring them forward, they're just going to play out in earth time in ever exquisite ways. And I say that for everyone listening, that you're a radiant being, multifaceted jewel with all kinds of incredible qualities. So how the light of your being is going to positively impact the world and fulfill your mission is going to be ever-changing, ever new, and in all kinds of ways. From infusing that light of your being into the beautiful meal for your family to a kind word to someone on the street. Being a vessel of the divine means we're not in control. We're not running the show, and we're not huffing and puffing to fulfill a mission. We're just allowing the divine in us to manifest its glory and to reach everyone everywhere and bless everywhere it can, and it will, and it does, because light streams forth like rivers of light through us all. We just need to be attuned and in the right consciousness, receivers of it. So right now there's a healing taking place, and a lot of the aspects of you that were disturbed because they wanted to know what they're supposed to do, they're all transforming to happily be the truth of who they are and fulfill their highest destiny, which is an ever-changing, blessed movie on earth. And beyond, they're saying, and beyond. All of us, that was cute. Working with the inner aspects is so much fun, seriously. They can tell us so much.
Wow, that's amazing.
Your third eye should be feeling something in your third eye right now, because now it's getting like wide open light. So this is going to help guide you on your path and be aware and awake of how it's all supposed to unfold for you in the highest way. The really exciting news is that when we live in the miracle consciousness, when we are being our full authentic self most of the time, it all unfolds naturally. Everyone has had those synchronistic meetings and, oh my God, this is amazing, where they didn't do it, right? Where you didn't make it happen. And I wish we had endless time. I would tell you my Easter story of how that happened to me. And it's really, our divine selves have it all under control. It's just when the human self is blocking with its limitations and beliefs, then it's keeping us, from that higher divine plan. So if we want to live that highest destiny, we're going to be diligent in clearing the way as things arise and being our full potential self most of the time.
I see. Yeah, I feel like they're trying to give me messages. I've heard the angels choir singing. I see fairies. It's when I meditate, and a horse all the time. So the messages are coming. I'm just not putting it together. So, but thank you.
These things come together finally into a tapestry. They weave together and finally into a tapestry we understand. I can say very honestly, my life's been the same. There's been parts of me that were clueless as I was getting guided, as things unfolded, as I was working on the next piece and the next piece and the next piece, and then finally in 2014, I wake up. It's like I come to this next level awareness, and this whole mission is in place, and the little facets of it that I was working on, AOs with the music books, and audios, and then the Institute of Advanced Healing with the Advanced Healing Protocols, and the Quest University with the courses. Every little thing was years of, being kind of nose to the grindstone on that next one, just riding that wave of inspiration, but not seeing the big picture. And then all in one day, as I just came to that next level, everything was ready, and it's like the light turned on and people across the globe could see me and get this and avail themselves. And as people started to get all of this, I saw what it was. And I saw what it was. It was like, oh my God, what a brilliant divine orchestration. I mean, brilliant. Because it all works together in a synergy, what I thought was all separate little pieces, and me being so multifaceted, how am I going to do it all? But it all goes together. The people get the training and become masters or come to the sacred tour, and then they're availing themselves playing the healing music in their homes. They're listening to the activations and being transfigured. They're mastering the quest and healing themselves and their loved ones. And it's all this beautiful tapestry of how it came together. And that's what's happening with all of us. However, I want to share very clearly that our highest divine plan doesn't naturally just happen. The reason being, people have not lived a higher divine plan forever on this planet because of these embedded beliefs and programmings. That's why all of us are into clearings and freeing ourselves and inner work. It's because it's an essential element to us actualizing our greater potential. No one's hardly done that before on the planet, a handful. Now we're doing it en masse, and so we're changing the whole future. But the thing is that we do need to be diligent and healing all the aspects that are not operating from authentic self if we want to fulfill our highest divine plan and be victorious. That is one of the most essential alchemical keys I can give you all today.
Wow. Thank you so much, Aurora. And also,
you're welcome.
Elena,
your inner aspects, Gina, your inner aspects are transformed, and you're going to feel more as it integrates over the next 33 days, you're going to feel more aligned with your mission, more a knowingness inside and a rightness of your path, your life path, and how the perfection of all its unfolding, and how you always do get those whisperings and nudges and guidance every step of the way, and that you have a lot of spiritual helpers, and your team is manned, and it's all glorious ahead of you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, bye.
I'm going to mute you now, Gina. So that was another beautiful one, Aurora. I think this would really be a great time to explain what you are offering the listeners It just seems to follow naturally from what we were just talking about. So, and then we can come back to questions and callers if you want. That would be great to squeeze in some more. But let's go through what you've put together, which is 2 wonderful packages. So do you want to tell us what's in package A?
I would love you to, because I'm still working with everyone right now. So if you can mention everything, I'll share a little bit about them. So because right now there's a big integration going for everyone, because I think that question has been everyone's question on the call. Everybody's like perking up going, yeah, that's my question. And so there's a lot of integration and realignment for everyone on their higher destiny paths, and there's a lot getting cleared right now that we're blocking that or keeping from a conscious awareness, more of a conscious awareness of the rightfulness of your path or what you should be doing. And some people are kind of on I wouldn't say wrong, because nothing's wrong. We learn and grow, but some people right now are getting a lot of divine assistance because they're working in an area and living a life. It's like their highest destiny path is like way over to the other side. It's I haven't seen this before, but you're getting help with that right now. That
Great.
Somehow maybe things unfold a certain way, but that was really from past momentums and past lives, and not really about this life. It's like it's kind of a soul unraveling and kind of living out the same momentums and the family lineage. So there has to be a leap off of that path into the higher destiny path. The way to do it is clearing, and we're going to get more clearings today, don't worry, and a big, big finale, fireworks clearing at the end. This is all resolving in your soul, though. You've been like have-tos and shoulds and locked in with family kind of mesmerism of what's right to be and do, and your heart has not been allowed to sing free to do what you came to do, and it's a more fairy-like energy, like, which might be hard for the person who's been really kind of grounded and practical and doing and financially stable and all this. It's a more light-filled, different approach with some of the similar threads in it. Anyways, I just want to, that's all integrating and healing for any of you that felt you were on the wrong path or kind of not doing what you want to be doing or not having your heart singing with joy in your field of influence, your offering, your little mission or your work. And so we're getting a big shift in that. All of us are getting like a realignment now to our highest destiny path. So everyone should feel some movement around that.
That's wonderful. I know I do. So you can look at Aurora's wonderful packages by clicking the special offer link, but offer A, package A. Well, I should say first that the packages are really all about heart expanding and soul advancing light-filled offerings from the realms of light, which is wonderful for this TeleSummit. So in package A, the first item is Aurora's book, the Indwelling Spirit ebook, and she says that the resounding echo through this book is that we are loved, and through this love of the indwelling spirit, we're inspired to see, know, and love ourselves in the way that God or spirit, whatever word one wants to use, loves us. So that's so important. So then we have 7 Healing Power of Love audios, or MP3s, which are available to you, of course, all the time, anywhere, if you want to take it with you. It's a wonderful thing about MP3s. So the 7 titles of the MP3s are Enter the Path of the Ascension by Vesta of the Sun, The Rose Light of Love, a Divine Healing Transmission from Mother Mary, Anchoring the Grand Design for Your Soul by the Elohim Eros, Preparing Your Vessel to be an Emissary of Divine Love, also by the Elohim Amora, Purification by Divine Love by the Maha Chohan. I hope I'm pronouncing these correctly. You can correct me, Aurora, if I'm not. Activating the God Self Within by Pallas Athena, Awakening to Your Full God Realization by the Maha Chohan. I'm sure these are very, very powerful. Maybe you can just give us a brief summary of what's in these MP3s.
Yes, I was prepared for a couple months in Mount Shasta with cocooned in light from feet to head for 2 months straight by the Divine Ones in preparation to bring this forth. And in the last 2 weeks, I was bathed in healing pools of light in the Divine Temple, the Rose Temple of Divine Love with Mother Mary, as things were lifting that were memories and records and pain and programming around love. And then the Divine Healing Activation Transmission started as the Divine Ones came forward over the next week to release this to humanity. And I just felt my whole DNA and every atom, cell, and molecule reconfigure. And it was such a powerful experience. I was never the same. Well, some years later when I was ready to release, I was editing them, and I was going through a whole weekend and listening to them as I'm making sure they're all the audios and everything. And I was so transfigured, I was never on the same plane of being. I was in another dimension after that. Never returned back to that lower earth dimension. And I was in New Zealand, and yeah, it was just incredible. Then a miracle happened next week, and of this whole divine orchestration of the 12 healing music for an awakening world albums came forward, just compilations with the sacred songs from the realms of light, something that could never be done in the physical realm in those days. And, you know, it's just not possible, except for it was. And so that again, you know, so a lot of people like to use the package as a program, a self-actualization program. And the way that you would do this is the same with that book, The Indwelling Spirit. That is infused. Those were letters from the inner divine self that totally changed me as I received them over a couple of years. That I just was never the same again. I was so understood things and who I am, and on a whole nother level. You can open that and read it, or you can go to just any random page or just one a day starting from the beginning, and it is so powerful and transfiguring. Even again, when I was in Ojai near my best friend and I was editing it for release, she said after those 5 months of editing them, because I had to read through every letter, she said she couldn't believe how changed I was. And I've been trying to get out of her, how changed, what did it look like? She goes, it's hard to put my finger on it, but you were never the same after that. You were just on this higher level, this way of being. So, and I think we have some of the music too, right, Elena? The healing music from the realms of light.
I think so. The next one I have here in front of me is the Quest Self-Healing System. This is still in package 1. The Quest Self-Healing System, the 7-step self-healing system, a technique, and then after that, yes, there's 6 healing music journeys, the Awakening the World albums, correct? Yeah, so you have it all, everybody. I mean, just power-packed. And so the way to utilize these things is perhaps in the morning do an activation, one of the divine healing transmissions, Healing Power of Love, after your meditation, or, read one of the letters. And you can do that again before you go to bed, so you're just infused with light during the day, play the healing music. And then as you have issues, you want to use the Quest 7 steps. And on the audio, I'm giving you, it tells all about it,
and really gets you up to speed, understanding your psychology and how to work with inner aspects and everything about it. Then on track 10, I take you through it. So a lot of people love that and just have, pause as you're answering the next questions. Of course, you follow the directions, and you can always get the quest session from me, so you get the ropes, and then you can go and master it for yourself. So that's always open to you as well. And is the book come with it? The quest Heal Your Life, Change Your Destiny book, was that included?
I'm just checking here. It's such a rich package. You can all look at the special offer link for yourselves and look at all the details here. I'm looking at, should that be part of the Quest self-healing system?
Yeah, there's the audio, and then there's the book, the Quest Heal Your Life, Change Your Destiny ebook. If it's not in there, we can remedy that very easily.
Okay, it's not popping up at me right this second, but
okay, so everyone, if it's not in there, don't worry, everyone. You just go to my website, AuroraJulianaAriel.com, and if you sign up for my newsletter, it'll give you the download, and you can have that, and then you get 50% off sessions.
But I want to stress that this offer of the whole package is only through Connecting to Light TeleSummit, so you can sign up for that, and then for the ebook, you can do what Aurora just described. But everything else
you want
is
to
so much.
My newsletter,
everything else in this package is such an incredible value. It's 54% off, which is everything in package A is only $147. So if you click the special offer link, you'll get all of that we just talked about, and then you'll know how to get the book as well as an added bonus. And then we also have special offer B, this second part, which is includes everything in package A we just talked about, plus a one-on-one session with Aurora, which is fantastic, as you've just heard. And that's at a discount of 56% for $197, so it's really not much more than package A, and you get everything in package A plus the session with Aurora. So Aurora, tell us what's involved in the session with you. I know it's an amazing opportunity.
I do pretty much what I'm doing right now because I can see when people start revealing things, the aspects come forward. I've worked with so many millions of them that they come forward, tell their story, and get healed and transformed. And then a lot of times reading in your book of life, if that's important, and helping understand some of the configurations in life. So it's really a joy to bring this forward. I haven't been able to do it for a while because running everything, like I said, is full on. And so it's an opportunity and also to get everything, to do your own self actualization program with this package, because if you infuse yourself daily with these high vibrational books and releases and activations, you're going to find in 33 days you're not even the same person. It's going to be mind-blowing. And then, again, become masterful in using the quest. And you don't need the book because the audio does tell a lot, as that if you do want the ebook as well, it is kind of nice to, if you're interested in my work and all these offerings, I don't post that on the website. I just send out a newsletter on the first every month. So there's just always a lot of sacred tours and amazing things and sessions at discounts and all that. So it might be great, if you want more, just to get connected in.
Great. But these are wonderful values, and I thank you so much for putting this together for the summit. It's really a gift. And you've all heard so far this amazing magical work that Aurora is doing. So maybe we can take another written question and another caller at least, if we have time. Does that sound okay?
It sounds great, and I was wondering, too, if James wanted to give like a 3-minute download about his first session. It was quite I don't know, whenever I get an email or something for James now, I get this visual image of what he described and just laugh because he had just had such a full body shift from it all. I don't know if there's any way to get him back on.
Well, James, if you're if you're on the call, why don't you write in and say that that's okay? Does that sound good? And I'll take another caller first, and then if James writes in and says that's okay, we could do that.
Sounds good.
Okay. So let's see. I have a caller from Troy, New York. I'm going to unmute you. Hi.
Hello. Hi there.
Hi there.
Okay. I have been, doing a lot of healing and different clearings. The only one I cannot seem to clear is between my sinuses and my eyesight.
So what's been going on with your eyesight?
Well, it was worse than it is now, but I was born with the left eye, like legally blind and lazy muscle. Then the right eye suddenly went cloudy, so it's making it a little difficult to live my life to the fullest, And then my sinuses seem to fill up, and then my eyes will go like prisms. And I could be shopping, and that has happened. So it's kind of debilitating.
These things that are etched in and chronic, they're usually a journey of different pieces to the puzzle which you've been doing and the different inner aspects. It's important to understand the subconscious aspects hold these physical conditions in place. If we didn't have subconscious aspects, wounded, younger, limited ones, we would be all in perfection, our total radiant health. It wouldn't be out picturing anything. So the way out is in. Again, there's this aspect of you right now, something about horrors of the world and seeing the horrors of the world and having gotten infested with the horrors of the world and this planet and the vibration and the people and the atrocities and tragedies, and it's like wanting to cover over and not see it. It's been so much. I don't know, have you consciously been aware of that, or is this just this unconscious part of you?
It's got to be unconscious because I don't even watch the news or anything.
Yeah, because this part of you is wanting to close off and shut off that, but it's because it's traumatized from it all. It's really traumatized from it, so it's trying to do a hiding, and then that's adversely affecting your eyes. And then it's not wanting to feel it and feel the horrors of what it's been through in past lives, in this embodiment, and that's the sinuses and the unshed tears. And so it's trying to cocoon and compartmentalize itself from, I guess you could say, Nightmare Planet.
Yeah.
So this part, I'm sure all of us can agree. Like we've all arrived, and welcome to Nightmare Planet. They should have said as we got off the soul boats, came in. Welcome to Nightmare Planet. Do your best. Here's your little first aid kit. Do your best. Your aspect is in a dichotomy because she doesn't want to see, but she does want to see because she wants to bring a remedy. She wants to be of help, but it's just too much. Your soul's so sensitive on the inner, just it's like you're a sylph like your spirit is like a sylph. I don't know if you know what a sylph is.
No.
Like a fairy-like being, like of the air spirits. They're sylphs, and so they're white light with wings and beautiful, radiant beings. But they're really ethereal. Not like the gnomes, more dun-dun-dun, dealing with the crystals, all the things that they do. This is more just on that next level up higher, up on the heavens, more divine, heavenly infused, not as much earth's occupation with their beings. That's how you are in the inside. And so now there's a whole shift around that, and all your chakras are becoming light-filled as this part of you rises up and just more stands in the authority of your divinity, of who you really are, and allows your third eye to open now and to become illumined with that true sight, that higher vantage point, which sees the world as it truly is, which means not just the horrors, but that this is a world in transition, that sees we're all here to assist. There's divine beings and elemental beings assisting, that, the whole picture. For her ability to see the whole picture. So there's a lot of light. There's light repair happening behind the eyeball. I don't know what it's called in there, but there's a lot of light. And then through your whole nasal passage and sinus passageways. The big deal is the activation right now of your pineal and your third eye opening up to see the truth, to see with eyes of truth, the whole picture. And actually it's happening for all of us right now, because one of the blessings of this TeleSummit today and why everyone was drawn here was to align more fully with their authentic selves. That's why your souls came to the healing temple today, and to be able to be on that higher destiny path and have that open of your third eye and your pineal to be able to actualize all that and have that higher awareness, that divine vantage point to guide your ways. So everybody's getting a clearing, big clearing about that. And also that I just want to mention there's been a lot of rivers of sorrow you all were carrying. No need to carry this anymore. And a lot dissolving. As we've been going along, I'm able to see these things, which is always very fascinating and fun. So, a lot of rivers of sorrow are dissolving, a lot of pain. You guys are releasing a lot of pain. This releasing. They've been physical ailments and all kinds of, there's relationship stuff clearing, this healing all for that. It's really helping heal the sorrows of this world, carried by the feminine heart in all of us. And that's getting healed right now. All right, so how are you feeling now? This is just the beginning. It's going to keep integrating over a lot of days, keep, ever new things resolving, restoring, like a puzzle pieces coming into a really nice, beautiful completion here.
Both of my nostrils just cleared up totally.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot of light in the whole nasal passage and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of light. Can you feel that energy on your third eye?
Yeah.
Are you feeling any kind of sensation? Yeah. That's all just bright light.
I feel a little like dizzy in a way.
Yeah.
So that's like opening my third eye, and then that will keep going for days.
Yeah, it's all going to be integrated because there's a lot of inner aspects that we're holding those conditions in place. They're all getting transformed, and then they'll be integrating in you and everybody that just received that healing, and which looks like everyone, all of you, and even those that are going to be tuning in to the replays. This healing works in a timeless zone. I don't know how to describe it, but those listening later get it too. So re-listening is always really powerful, and that's why the divine healing transmissions, they're in the timeless realm. So when you listen to them, it activates and aligns you and reconfigures you and restores you to the divine pattern. So as you keep listening to these things, and if you do it daily, you can imagine in 33 days like how different you would be, right,
wow.
from that continued transfiguration going on. And what's really beautiful about that is here we can receive all that, so we're not having to roll up our sleeves and do all the work with the class, with our inner aspects. A lot just keep getting healed by all of this going on. And then the healing music just keys us into that higher plane of being, and we can be living on that higher dimension even though we're, operating here on Earth.
Yeah, it's definitely.
All right, you're baked. You're baked.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, Gina.
You're good.
I'm going to mute you now, Gina. Thanks again.
We just have Gina going down the conveyor belt and bring in the next one.
That was fantastic. Well, these healings and the work you're doing is just so amazing. I mean, we are running long, so I know that we want to get to this group healing as we wrap up. So I know that you have a song you want us to hear that goes with the healing, just so everybody understands how we're going to play that. About how long will that run for people listening, so you know what's going on?
You're going to have the song play afterwards. Is that what you said?
Well, how does that work? Do you do the group healing and then the song plays after?
Yes. Were you able to cue up that song? Because I'd really be excited to share about that song with everyone.
I have it, yes. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, my gosh, that's so great. Okay, we did that last minute. That was last minute. I wanted to come in for all of you. I gave the Sacred Alchemist Adeptship in the New Millennium tour in Egypt in December and Petra in Jordan. And towards the end in Egypt, we got to be in the Great Pyramid all alone, all of us together for a couple hours, and this divine song came forward. It's the same way the other ones on the albums where I'm singing are in those albums you'll be getting. This one, if you want to, Elena, you can give this as additional for everyone that gets the package as an added gift. And if you guys have a way to do that, include it for everyone. And anyways, you'll feel it. It's a very high transmission, right from the divine realms, echoing and reverberating through the Great Pyramid from the King's Chamber. And as we've all been learning, the pyramids were power plants with a beneficent universal energy. So anything that comes in and radiates out goes out to the whole world. So it was an amazing experience. Yanni had just come and did a concert at Giza, and this was the most thrilling thing of his life, the pinnacle. And I sat there like a child in childlike wonder, in awe as the song was coming through me, and the amazing innocence and purity I was feeling. I felt like that was my most momentous thing, that had happened on the planet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a global healing, and for all of you and all humanity. Next, it's going to be about 10 to 12 minutes, and then we're just going to have the music come on so everyone can anchor. and take time to anchor the light. Everyone, make sure you are centered before you run out the door afterwards, because it's power packed, and you've all been receiving so much light during the call. You might not know that you're on another plane of being. And and I just went to get my cell so I could just glance at the time, because I get in a timeless zone during this, and I just got a beautiful text from James saying he's available to share his testimony. Do we have time for that, Elena? Like 2 minutes?
Well, and it's up to you. We're way over, but if you can briefly do it, that would be great. How long does the music last?
It's about 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Okay.
That'll be
after the healing.
Yeah, I'm good with time.
Okay.
Are you good? Are you good with time?
Yeah. So let's talk about James a bit, and then we'll do the global healing, and then we'll say goodbye maybe after the healing, and then we'll wrap it up with the beautiful music. Does that sound good?
Yeah. This always happens. It always goes over. This is about the norm, so I always make about 2 hours for this.
Okay, fine. So thank you to James. So take it away, Aurora.
All right. So, James, are you back?
Let me get him. Hold on. James, you need to raise your hand by pressing *2 so I can unmute you. James, you need to press *2 on your telephone for me to unmute you. Well, I'm not sure what's going on. You need him on the phone, right?
Well, yeah, if he's going to share. I don't think it'd be really exciting if I share about it.
No? Well, should we go ahead with the group healing and see if he comes back?
No, he won't be able to share after we start the healing. It's too full on, because the divine ones are delivering it. I'm just a vessel of it. So that's that. So anyways, for another day. But, people can read in the testimonials. There's just endless miracles, really, from this work.
Yes, really.
I've seen even physical, immediate miracles, but that doesn't happen all the time, and people shouldn't feel disappointed if it doesn't. The reason being is that it took a long time for something to become physical, and a lot of aspects, a lot of things going on. And so it's a journey. A lot of times it's a journey, but one time in one of my trainings, a woman on Sunday got me as a counselor. I was training everyone in how to do this, and she opened up a history way back 2-3 years old of really memories she didn't have when we started, and very severe abuse, physical, sexual, all that. And so it was a tremendous healing, like powerful, just mind-blowing that this opened up and was freeing her from so much, relationship issues, on and on and on. And there was one part of it I didn't know. She hadn't shared one affliction she hadn't shared about at all until the next day I heard from her, and I had given this up in Aspen, and she was at the Aspen Club working out when she looked in the mirror, and her legs were straight. And she had pronated knees, which makes your legs deform and kind of the bones kind of bow inward as a protective. So it goes very much with that part of her, even the bones growing to be in a protective mode. And then her trainer came along and looked and went, "Oh, my God, what happened?" And she goes, "Well, I had a session with Aurora yesterday." Oh. And so she got a spontaneous physical bone healing, and she writes about that. That's in the quest book. So So, all things are possible, yet we shouldn't get impatient because our divine selves have it all under control. And when we're doing the quest and things are dropping away and things are resolving, things that take longer to resolve, like physical ailments, conditions, mean our soul wants a longer journey with it because there's a lot of information to access and learnings and advancement and growth. And a lot of people come out of, like I did, incurable illness and my journey to be an encyclopedia of healing and knowledge. So all these things, have their own timing. Today, what clears, clears. And it really is up to all of you and your divine selves what you've come to release today and change in your lives and have different, and how much to open up, that you're ready to open up to that abundant life, to living in the miracle consciousness, to really actualizing who you are, not who you are not, which we've all been largely living out of who we're not. So we're emerging more and more, step by step, into who we really are. That's an inner equation, but you guys can up the ante of it by saying little prayer intentions right now. And, of course, I will do a prayer, an invocation to help us all have the greatest blessing that's available for us. So, Elena, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, everybody. I think you need to put on your seatbelts. So everybody get your seatbelts on, get ready. Everybody center in yourselves and your beautiful illumined divine selves. If you want to, put your hands on your heart or give yourself a little love hug because you brought yourself here for this miraculous day, for this incredible healing and soul advancement. You listened. You care. You are wise managers of your life, of your destiny. You are masters in the making and transfiguring your lives daily to fully actualize who you are. And so self-loving, self-nurturing, self-care. Let's give ourselves a big dose of that right now. That's Mother Mary's 3 precepts of how to actualize your greatest potential and blossom fully. Beloved Father, Mother, Divine Universal Presence, our inner divine selves and heavenly sponsors, we give grateful thanks for the bountiful blessings, healing, and advancement on our paths, clearing the way for us to fully rise now across the earth and stand as illumined presences in the earth, fulfilling our highest destinies, actualizing our greatest potentials, being vessels of a great light that transfigures the world back to the divine pattern. So we give our lives as vessels of the higher divine plan. We give our hearts for the betterment and blessing of all humanity and sentient beings everywhere. We ask for the greatest healing that is available on every levels of our beings and every areas of our lives, and that all vows, wills, intentions, belief systems, programming, and all that has adversely affected us can be lifted now and dissolved in the light, and all the inner aspects be healed and transformed back to their full potential selves. And we may realign together in this moment throughout the earth in our divine selves, standing in those vows we made before we came to be vessels of light for the planet. And so we are here. So we have come. So we are grateful for the Temple of Sacred Alchemy to be open now as we lay the human conditioning on the altar to be transformed. And that all these things be healed and transformed for ourselves, our loved ones, all humanity, past, present, and future, all levels and planes of being, for everyone, for the highest good of all, in accordance with the highest divine plan. O radiant light, O blessed Elohim, archangels, angels, great cosmic beings, and those who guide and guard these planetary spheres of the matter planes. We, the Elohim of love, come to bathe you in our divine presence, to infuse the world with the golden light of peace. For I, Illumina, with my beloved Apollo, come now today to anchor light, illumination, love, harmony, and peace in the earth plane. And thus we come as a mighty cleanup crew to dissolve and consume the human dross, that human conditioning that has acted as matrices of darkness of the earth, dissolving it all now so that a greater increment of light can flow forth in and through you and into this world, to the holy temples, the mosques, and all sacred sites worldwide, through all beings aligned with their true authentic selves. And so, beloved, have we come to stand with you at this day, this glorious, momentous day of the turning of the tides and the redialing into a future world that is illumined and bright because you came, because you anchored your presence physically on this earth, and you vowed to bring forth your peace to that glorious global puzzle of planetary change. And so it is through the transfiguration of your lives and your beings now that the mighty work is done. For at those causal levels, the subconscious aspects dwell in misery, limited and constrained, and that outpictures in the outer reality until you feel and believe you are that which is limited, and yet you are divine, limitless beings like the Elohim, free spirits in a universe that is connected and linked up everywhere with nothing separate and alone. And so we dissolve the sense of separateness, beloved. We dissolve and consume the pain and sorrow you have carried to this day. We lift off your shoulders the heavy weights and the burdens, and we cleanse, purify, rectify, and make right your allegiance, your divine destiny, your divine being, your physical body, your vessel, to be aligned with a higher, greater divine plan. Light eternal is flowing forth now through your crown chakras, radiating, reverberating throughout the atom, cell, electron of your beings, coalescing light as the spinning of the atoms shifts into the higher frequency, that higher dimension now that allows you to be light-filled, radiant, and allows the restoration and the repair of even physical ailments, dis-ease, financial constraint, relationship issues, as all the molecules of your life transfigured now into the divine patterning of the divine illumined self who stands mighty and strong in the earth in a full stature of its magnificent glory, radiant beingness in this earth. See how different you feel, beloved, because the light of Elohim is with you. The light of Elohim is restoring, repatterning, reconfiguring you to the divine truth of who you are. And so the dross rises up to be cleared. And that great increment that you have offered on this altar is now healed for yourself and the aspects linked up globally and in your family lines, so that you could be completely free today of a whole increment of darkness, but also act as a vessel of the Most High to bring a blessing to your loved ones and to the earth. And this is a divine destiny you were called to, beloved. And why you felt called to our beloved Aurora, why you felt called to this global healing ministry, and to be partaking of this wondrous TeleSummit today, so that you could stand in a greater increment of light and truth of who you are, so that you could receive the tools we have prepared and the offerings we have brought forth, which are all infused with light. The healing music are divine matrices, beloved, that repattern and restore you to the divine intention for your soul, igniting and activating your full authentic self to come forward, to play more fully, to be more alive, to expand its glory in this world, to be a radiant presence, expansive and free. And so as you listen to the music of the spheres, from the divine realms of light as it wafts through your home, the very molecules of your existence, your relationships are transfigured, and you are on a higher plane of being, of more rarefied consciousness, where you are cruising more easily and effortlessly in your authentic self. So have we given all of this unto you. So have we prepared your vessels today to even receive more. And all the activations, the divine healing transmissions as this one, to reconfigure daily you back to the higher and higher versions of your true authentic self, so that you are on a fast, accelerated journey of self-discovery, self-empowerment, self-actualization, of coming into more and more the truth of who you are. This, the glorious ascension in the light that you signed up for before you came. So you see, beloved, you are a full radiant being with a high destiny and a high level of ability to radiate light in this world, to be a vessel of light. So you must take care of yourself. Nurture yourself, love yourself, treat yourself as the divine being that you are, and never more abandon yourself in any way. Feed yourself nourishing foods. Infuse yourself with light-filled books, music, audio, all that is of media to be of beneficence for you. Let your homes be clean and flowers in vases, and let everything be in a divine order around you to allow more light into the molecules of your homes, of your existence, of your gardens. Release all that does not serve you, and stand strong in the truth of who you are, the radiant, light-filled being that desired with their open heart to be of service in this time on this planetary home, who enlisted our help so that we of the heavens should stand with you who are heaven-born as you traversed this mission of the transformation of this earth. Now feel that light in your crown as the golden light of peace fills your being, infuses your auric fields, and then the white light coming up from feet to crown, spiraling upward, which will stay 33 days, so that this mighty work can continue within you, so that the transfiguration can continue, beloved, and you can receive all the support that you need on every level of your being. This is a glorious moment in time and space, beloved, as we meet and share a sacred destiny. So I raise my cup of light to you in grateful thanks for participating today. Please spread the word of our ministry, of all the ongoing releases of light to the planet. Reinfuse yourself with the replay so that you can continue to evolve on that fast, accelerated train, bringing you to the glorious future that is the collective intention to be manifest in record time. We bless you, beloved. Surround you in the light. Shield you from all harm. Cast out the darkness that can be dissolved today. And help you be free on that next level of your authentic selfhood. Free to partake of the abundant life, the miraculous life that is yours to claim. And today, the Alchemical Key is given to assist you to live more fully in the truths of who you are, so that the miraculous life can be a resonant reality on earth, spreading like wildfire, to where more and more souls wake up and become infused with light, and thus able to receive that abundance that is here for everyone. Blessings to you, beloved. Blessings.
So powerful. I can only say thank you, Aurora, so much, and thank you to all our listeners and callers, and I hope you stay with us to listen to this wonderful healing music that's going to play us out, and listen to the replay and check out Aurora's amazing special offer. But Aurora, thank you so much. Such a gift.
You're welcome. My joy.
So, thank you, everybody. And here comes the music. Please take the time and give yourself the time to hear it.
Sabotage. Share